Right, Happy New Year to all of you guys. Right, it's gonna be the new year, but sadly we have to talk about something that's not so happy, which is Tesla deliveries. Okay, let's get some numbers out of the way. There's gonna be 405,000 vehicles delivered for this quarter, 439,000 vehicles produced. So overall, year over year, if you're talking about 2022, it is 1.31 million vehicles delivered and 1.37 million vehicles produced. Something that you might want to take into consideration is that Model S and X missed by about 1,000 vehicles in terms of delivery. Kind of hurt the margins a little bit, but something that we have to look into as well. Okay, but now that is the so-called the overall the bad part of it. So let's talk a little bit about the good part of the whole entire bad delivery report. I do think that ultimately we do want to see some good side. Okay, so let's talk about first quarter for Tesla to actually hit 400,000 vehicles delivered. So pretty good on you, Tesla. The first quarter hitting over 400,000 vehicles delivered. Afterwards, we have year-over-year growth, which if you actually look at 2021, we have 936,000 vehicles delivered as compared to right now, which is 1.31 million vehicles delivered in 2022. That's about a 40% increase. So that's a 40% growth on deliveries. That's a pretty big growth, okay? Despite the fact that we are actually already in a recessionary environment, getting a 40% increase year over year is definitely nice. Okay, and of course, you know that I don't always just play one part of it. I actually show you both sides of it. So, of course, the argumentative factor would be, that 2021 and 2022 definitely have their own differences. Okay, so let's not get too giddy on the good stuff just yet. Okay, so let me just get into the nitty-gritty of things of why this is actually slightly different. Okay, in 2021, we actually had pandemic at its peak, where we had most of the consequences coming out. Okay, money became a lot more expensive, alongside with factories shutting down, China's situation, supply chain issues were at its peak, and with the whole entire 9 yards. Okay, for 2022, however, we did have a little bit of supply chain issues left over, but we managed to solve most of it. Production problems were basically out of the way. We already solved production problem in Tesla. However, some of the China factories were still getting shut down a little bit. But I think I don't really consider those as too big of an issue because that's just China as it is. But overall, fixing most of its problem as it is. Okay, so now that we actually look at it from a different point of view, okay, Tesla is starting to face a new different problem. Okay, it's not a production problem anymore. Right now, it is a delivery problem, a demand problem. Okay, and this is where this kind of get a little bit worrisome. Okay, now that it actually come down to a demand play, this is where Tesla's next big problem would most likely be coming. Okay, so first of all, I just want to give you guys a heads up. Before this delivery report, I actually sold half of my Tesla holdings. Again, I don't want it to sound like I'm this huge bear where I'm selling 50% of my holding as if it's such a huge thing. Okay, I held 70 shares before. Now I hold 40 shares. Okay, it's not not rocket science here. Okay, I'm not holding like billions of dollars in Tesla. I'm just holding a very, very small, minuscule percentage, okay? And I intend to buy more Tesla in the future, definitely. But right now, I just thought that, I wanted to sell half of it, just like a small play on my part. Okay, so I was kind of worried that, we would most likely miss delivery numbers. But at the same time, I didn't want to miss on the pump, because there's always a potential pump with Tesla. So that's why I kind of just sold off half of it. Later on, when the market do open up, I'm hoping to see Tesla actually drop down to about like 114 or 112. Hopefully, if we actually see 112, 110, ooh, yeah, that's where I think I'll actually start to buy back in a little bit. But most likely going to drop about 4 to 5% ish. I'm assuming that's going to be the case. But yeah, if it doesn't actually drop to like 112, 114, I'll most likely just sit on my 40 shares and just and I'll just write it out and see how it goes. Okay, but anyway, I will actually go into more in depth in another video for this. Most likely when the Tesla earnings actually comes out, I think that's going to be where I will be talking more about price targeting for Tesla, and where I actually see Tesla being in the future as a whole company and all. Okay, but moving forward, I do think that Tesla has some milestone for us to actually check out. Firstly, we definitely need to see Tesla get out the Cybertruck. I think that's going to be one of the most important things for Tesla right now. Okay, after actually holding on to the Cybertruck, after teasing it, I think in 2020 or 2021, they actually just completely held it off for 2 years, not really showing us any sort of production for Cybertruck. I think it's time for them to actually show us the Cybertruck and actually release it to the mass general public, because of how trucks actually take up the general market share in the whole economy, especially in the United States. Okay, you will be surprised how many people actually have trucks. So yeah, I think that this would potentially be a very, very big play for Tesla. However, of course, I think that we definitely need to say that we might clear demand issues, but then we are going to be playing the whole game yet again. We are going to be looking at production side again. We need to ensure that production of Cybertrucks is going to be smooth. We need to make sure that the ramp up is going to be smooth. And then most likely we're going to come back to a demand problem again, maybe in 2024, 2025. Not sure. Okay. But yeah, I do personally think that would be a struggle for them to actually go through with the production. But of course, I think that the Tesla team probably already have experience on the side where they know how to settle, production ramp up and such. Okay, so I think that should be fine. Okay, pricing wise, I think I'll just give you guys like a brief overview of my own personal opinion. Of course, again, not financial advice whatsoever. I think let's make this clear for 2023. Okay, I do believe that a minusing of 20%, okay, a drop of 20% is still a big possibility for Tesla, which is why I did sell off half of my holdings. I do intend to buy it back, possibly even more. Right now, okay, personally, I'm looking to actually own hopefully about 250, 300 shares of Tesla. I know that it doesn't sound like much to a lot of people. It might sound like a lot to people, depending on how rich you are. I'm not sure. But I do intend to hold 300 shares of Tesla in the future, hopefully by the end of this year. So right now I'm just kind of like nitpicking some pricing target here and there, because ultimately, like, let's be honest, if you drop by like $10, that's like $3K, $3,000 out there at least. So I think it's kind of important for us to actually get the pricing down. So yeah, but of course, now that you kind of know where my pricing target is going to be at, I do want to get some headwinds out of the way. So that ensure that all these headwinds are actually gone before I actually buy back in seriously. Okay, so potential headwinds would definitely be including missing of numbers. Okay, that's going to be your delivery reports, it's going to be your earning reports and things like that. So of course, one example is already out, which is delivery report. Actually missing on this delivery report most likely will set us back about 5% or so. Okay, it could also include Elon actually selling more shares to help with Twitter, maybe help with SpaceX, maybe just to hold more cash on the side. We do not know. Of course, Elon did say that he's not going to be selling in the next 18 to 24 months, but let's be honest here, selling is not exactly illegal. Okay, he basically just pledged to say that, yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be selling. It doesn't make it illegal for him to sell. Okay, so just watch out. It's still a possible thing to do so. Personally, the biggest headwind in my eyes is going to be the shift in a lot of the investors' eyes. Okay, so right now we're looking at macroeconomy actually changing into a recessionary era right now. Most likely in 2023 is where we will finally see the official recession happening. Okay, of course, a lot of people are already calling 2022 the textbook recession. But of course, Joe Biden and also, alongside with Jerome Powell, two of the most powerful people in the United States, refuse to call it a recession. But hey, so be it. I don't care. But 2023, most likely, we would see recession happens, or we might actually see some form of a softish landing. We do not know. Okay, but I can tell you that investors, on the other hand, is going to have a huge shift in investing mindset and strategies. Okay, so of course, when we're talking about all these sort of investors, we're talking about mass selling. Okay, which is what we have been seeing for the second half of 2022. A lot of selling in the market. People are just selling and selling and selling and selling. The market is getting destroyed. Okay, so my fear is during these choppy times in the market, we might actually see some Tesla bulls turn into Tesla bears. Okay, so all these sort of big investors, they might actually start to cash out from Tesla, because let's be honest here, a lot of them, they actually got into Tesla very, very early on, or they actually got into Tesla very, very cheaply. Okay, and right now they're so deep in the money to the point where cashing out now will still give them a pretty handsome profit. It would make no sense for them to be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna hold it till Tesla go to zero. All these investors are not stupid. All these investors make their money for a reason. Okay, and when such big money start to move out of Tesla, you're definitely going to see this as a possible huge headwind for Tesla. And the thing is that you cannot even say that, oh, you know, don't worry, all these investors have faith that Tesla is going to do well. They have faith that Elon is going to do well, and Elon is not giving us the faith in return. Okay, Elon is not exactly showing us that he is also as serious as the investors are for Tesla. Okay, so hopefully that actually changes in 2023. And yeah, I think that's all I have for the delivery videos. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, you know, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope you guys subscribe to this channel down below. Okay, drop me a like and also subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.